Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Share Your Grin. Thank you so much for your time. Today, we're going to be checking out something that I'm so excited about, but also very upset about and sad about because I just found out something. But nevertheless, this game is called Astral Chain, and it looks like a game that is so up my alley. It looks so unbelievably wicked. I cannot wait for you guys to see the gameplay. I've seen it on and off, but what I have seen has two components that I'm just in love with. So yes, let's get into
So
it.
I'm Taura-san from Platinum Games, and today is going to be the first time that we're going to be showing off play footage from the game. So please, everybody at home, we'd like you to enjoy.
All right. All right, good. So I get to jump into it? All right. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we got a special treat. We're going to show kind of the beginning of the game for you guys. So what you see here is kind of the character
as you can see, anime as hell. Love it.
It's kind of note that these are actual sisters, brothers and sisters. I'm going to today go ahead and select the male character here, and I'm going to go through and customize this character real quick. Let me put my name in there.
Love it already. The character customization, wicked. Love the hairstyles, all the things.
Sort of elaborate on the game setting, the story, and the characters we'll be encountering?
Story. Alright, we'll cut to the story. I'm so sorry for the translator. I feel so bad for the translator. Holy shit.
So the game starts... the game is set essentially in the near future on Earth, and all the land of the Earth is under attack from another dimension where it's being polluted by this mysterious matter. And there's essentially an attack from the other world, and that's how the game starts. The game is also set on a place called Ark as well.
Basically, from what I gather, a realm, another realm, bashed into human realm, bang, we get powers and shit.
Actually, the game also has a part that you can play as well that happens before this, so we'd like you to look forward to that as well.
Ooh, cool.
And I want to highlight
this
rad transition.
Looks real good.
Oh, we love this.
It's so good.
Here we go. So we're in file 1 startups. The file is actually kind of like a chapter for those who are wondering.
Okay.
And what right off, you're going to see it right out the bat. We're actually kind of more in a motorcycle chase. I'm on a hot pursuit.
I love the look.
So we're going to see a lot of different styles of gameplay in this game. It's really, really, really great.
But yeah, jumping right into the action, wasting no time whatsoever.
We've got several eyewitness reports of gate openings in Central City, Zone
Style
36.
looking.
So we're going to start taking down these enemies.
Civilian safety is
And
your
then Sam, why don't
top
you just kind of describe them?
Yeah, actually, while we have Taros on here, I was wondering if he might want to talk a little bit about this sequence and about some of the enemies that we're encountering.
So this actually is taking place just as the player is heading for the place where an incident has taken place. And to make the controls easier to understand for the player, they're set up kind of like a shooting game.
Oh, awesome. Alright, so they're a shooter. Well, I know it's like.
And it may be a bit surprising to start an action game like this with a shooting sequence. However, it allows for a lot of exposition to happen concerning the story. As you can see, the people are talking.
I mean, I think it's awesome. I like, again, it has so much style right now. But that's not the thing that got me. Where I'm like, oh my god, I've wanted a game like this forever.
Starting the game with the shooting sequence, I think that just kind of highlights a lot of the gameplay variety that we're going to see in this game.
I feel like it's weirdly reminiscent of like Grasshopper Manufacturer because they just do like so many different types of gameplay, at least in Shadows of the Dam.
Akira is talking to the main character currently. Akira is the name of the younger twin sibling, so the gender you do not pick becomes a very central character in the story.
That's cool. So your like brother or your sister will become like your
using what's called an
like a
Exoton.
story
It's a weapon
element.
that's actually going to transform into many different styles that I can use.
Oh, cool. So we got morphing weapons.
Yeah.
Very reminiscent of Shadows of the Dam as well. It's like a futuristic version of Shadows of the Dam. You'll see why. That makes
So
sense.
one thing to note. So what we're going to do is actually jump to a little bit more in the future of this game. A little bit like play it up a little bit later. So I'm going to actually cut to something different. Okay.
Switching things. Okay. That's the beginning. That's kind of cool. It starts you off with action.
So
Look
now
at this.
you can see.
It looks so good. First of all, we're about to get into it, but what the fuck? We'll talk about it later, but come on. Please.
I'm actually right here. I'm still the same character design. So what I'm going to do now is I want to kind of get to show you guys the basic action. This game has a lot of depth to it. So what we're going to try to do is just kind of break this down for you guys a little bit at a time because there's so much to it and it's super, super great.
I love it.
Yeah,
Also,
and
there's
to elaborate
companions.
on what Neuron is specifically, Neuron is a special police task force whose members are equipped with legions. These are
Boom! Listen to that again.
special police task force whose members are equipped with legions. These are sentient weapons. We've shown a little bit in
Those are sentient weapons, but also even
the
cooler.
trailers, but you do need legions to be able to defend against chimeras, who are the interdimensional invaders that are sort of threatening Earth.
So just to kind of break it down real quick, if I tap ZL here, you'll see that I bring up my legion. My legion.
Oh. I'm sorry, but this is what I've been waiting for forever. I love the idea of not only having companions, which is awesome in itself, but also the fact that you can summon forth this, like, it's kind of like weirdly like Persona, except like a third person, more like assist game. We'll see combat in a minute, but it looks, I love that. Just like you pulling out your shadow, and your shadow is like this mechanized creature that helps fight against enemies with you, but also can be a weapon.
Going to attack on its own, but if I hold down ZL, I can actually move it around with the right control stick. So it's going to allow me to have a greater finesse. Now you'll notice that there's a little energy bar down there. As that dissipates, it's the amount of time I have for my Legion to be out. So when my Legion is attacking, I can actually tap the ZR button and get into my own form of attacks. Now this is just kind of the basics. So what I'm going to do here is go into...
But it reminds me of the God of War combat as well. But like how you always have Atreus, it just seems like Atreus is a bigger part of it all, not just like, you know, additive damage. It's just like he's like this giant mechanized creature that's probably going to be the heaviest hitting thing.
With Jin.
And with them be, like kind of alluding to like there's different paths, it just makes me excited for like, I'm hoping there's a path that can amp up my Legion, my fucking shadow big brother kind of thing hovering over me, ready to wreck the world.
My first real
Love
assignment.
that.
Everyone that has a Legion needs to have this unit strapped to the back. It's like a casing, I guess you would say. It's also going to grant me use to the iris. That's why you see my character's eyes light up.
Great. Looks like it fits.
All right, it does fit. So I'm now going to go back.
Did you become Legion?
Go back.
That's what goddess.
Okay.
Yeah, and a little bit more about the iris. The iris is like an augmented reality layer on top of the environment that will highlight special items, and it has other uses that we'll see a little bit later.
Everything is so cool in this
So
game,
what I'm
man.
going to do now is hop into a training program real quick just to kind of show you guys some basic action. I'm going to fight some chimeras, the humanoid form. And why don't we ask Taro-san about kind of just the creation of legions.
All right, we learn about legions. Let me hear.
まずそもそも2体で戦いたいというところからこのゲームの発想はスタートしてるんですけども、
So good.
単純に
You're just hanging above you, coming to wreck
敵
shit
に圧
up.
倒的な力がありまして、その敵を捉
Fuck
え
him up.
て、
God,
敵
it's
の
cool.
力を使って戦うってい
But
う
he's
よう
almost
な
tapped
設定
out.
になってます。
So from the beginning,
Oh, that's so fucking dope. You grabbed your chain and threw him. You both did like a tag team move.
we wanted to
Ah!
create a game where you controlled two different characters at the same time.
Okay.
From the beginning, we wanted to create a game where you controlled two different characters at the same time, but the enemies have this like very extreme power, and so yeah, we wanted to elaborate on something where you captured an enemy and made use of it.
なのでレギ
Okay, so he's not exactly inherently good. So you captured an enemy and made use of it. So you captured a chimera and you made it work for you, which I guess is the chains. I'm hoping you cannot, like, you can befriend it and it not just be like this ravenous monster on your arm the whole time. I hope you can, like, you know, have some sort of plot element where it's like, oh no, he's with you. Like, you know, your chain breaks and you're still like, nah, I'm still with you. That'd be awesome. Anyways. But this is basically like an overlord kind of situation / summon character in like a futuristic setting. Also, I just love the tag team combat.
すごく似た形状のものとかも敵として
Also,
出
there's
て
like
きたりし
perfect
ます。
pairing. There's like
And
this
the
cool
enemies,
dodging
they're known
element.
as chimeras, but among the legions, there are legions that will show up that look a lot like the chimeras that you'll face.
Oh, okay.
So taking a look at some of the
So there's different legions. So they may look entirely
stuff
different to
that
Tanny.
Demetrius
That's awesome.
is getting into here. You can see he's using that feature where you can control your Legion to wrap them up and bind them. And that'll hold them for a few moments where you can get in some good attacks. Just like this.
And I can switch freely back and forth between what's a small baton and what's also going to be called the blaster. All right, I'll just keep playing this. I gotta stop. Oops, I don't want to pull the iris. By that, let me stop real quick. Training menu. All right, we want to quit training.
Enough of this program?
Yes, I have it enough.
It
That's
looks so
enough
good.
for
It
now.
looks so fucking good, man. Especially the combat. Combat sucks.
again,
I could do that
that's
forever.
just
I
the
feel.
basics. There's gonna be a
I can just
lot
run
more
around with my
options
big,
that we'll show
big. What do you
later
call it?
on.
Big shadow
so
monster or
much
whatever.
fun.
Just wrecking fools. Also, bet you could like color it so it could be like this literal shadow, not
今やっても
blue
らってたトレーニングとかは、
The only thing that does weird me out is that it does seem like it's chapter based, which I'm hoping it still has an open world because it feels like a game that is like just please give me a world to dive into and things like that. Not like, hey, give me a chapter sequence. So I'm hoping that that's not it.
So the training that you just saw is one of many that are actually available to use at the police station. So for anyone who feels that they haven't gotten used to the controls yet or they want to practice more,
Love that.
there are lots of those specifically for those types of people. So we'd like them to make use of it.
Because it is the way a hub, this whole place. So I think it's probably like,
besides that,
I'm not
there's
sure open
also
world,
places
maybe like
where you can change
missions
your
that you can
clothes
just jump to.
and buy.
That's what I like to hear right there, baby.
Besides that, there's also places where you can change your clothes and buy goods as well. So we'd like people to check out those stores, and they'll have those other features, and they'll have a good time, I think.
I think so. I gotta say, us all at the office have been kind of gushing over this game. Especially us, the action fans. We really, really love this game. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go and kind of go out on our first real mission using Legion.
Okay.
So I'm going to go up to this heliport here, meet Max. I'm going to skip this first little cutscene, then I'll let the rest play so you guys can get a sense of the game world. So I'm going to skip this one.
So this is the first time that you're going to be able to use what is called the iris, which you guys mentioned before, to be able to solve an incident that occurred before you arrived.
Oh, okay.
そういった
3D プログラムの表現とか、
SF っぽい部分っていうのがこのアストラルチェーンの特徴的な。
So we're going to look for clues, starting with right here.
There's some detective aspects to it. I'm not a fan of that.
We're going to actually use our iris to start kind of using all this
also hackers cute.
What happened?
Detective things. Got it. I won't skip past this. I don't really care. I get it. It's like yeah, mystery is all that.
I'm going to see here.
These are not used just for.
Under is located in different areas to show that the world is actually under attack.
で、それをレギオンを使って先ほどのように除去することができるんです。
I guess legions can't be seen by normal people because this dude just rolled up on these two people and said, "Listen." So you got this towering beast over these two dudes just chatting.
What Demetrius is doing here is he sent out his legion to kind of spy and listen in on this conversation, and that brings up an important point about Legion that I don't know that we've touched on just yet. Is the Legion as a member of Neuron, you're special. You can see the Legion, and you can see the Chimeras, and the other regular folk that aren't part of this special task force cannot see that. So that that when that Legion was spying on those guys, they didn't know it was there.
Correct.
Okay. Sweet.
So we get, and with that, we gathered 3 police.
Okay, so there's like, yeah, I can see what they mean by that. It's digging into a ton of gameplay elements. Like we got the crazy driving at the beginning, we got this, which is investigating, we got the combat. The only thing is that I hope what it seems like is you have this hub area where you're going on missions and doing things. I'm hoping though that you can choose, all right, this mission has a lot of detective aspects of it. Okay, let's go do a detective mission which will maybe at the end dissolve into us fighting this big bad after we found enough clues. But I also hope there's just like, hey, go to this area and kill everything because I really like the combat and I'm not the most enjoy loving this part about it where it's like, hey, ask people, so ask people questions and shit like that. It's not my cup of tea necessarily. Okay, so now we're following this demon trail looking thing, or this void.
So just like you did,
so like
we need to split up, and then they just leave you, like the noob, to go do that. All right.
And there are all over the game. There are places where you follow these tracks, and you may wind up at the enemy that left the tracks, or you may wind up at something completely different.
Right.
Oh, before that though, hold on. Let me just take a quick bathroom break. I gotta use the restroom.
Is it a save file? Or like save location?
They're a hidden element, and if you find them all, then something good will happen.
Okay.
So the toilet that you just saw is hidden in every stage. There's a different toilet, and they're a hidden element, and if you find them all, then something good will happen.
That's amazing.
That's what I like to hear. I like collectibles, but not when they're just like, and you just get a pat on the back or an achievement. Give me something. Like, what is it? Like an armor piece, glasses, like a weird hobo-looking outfit. I don't know. Or like a plumber outfit.
Explore, and the game is made with lots of places to explore in mind.
I like that. I'm just worried that it seems like a game that's made to be like an open world, run around the whole map, completing objectives, finding things with your legion, and it seems like it's restricted by a chapter-based system. You know, like a story, like a narrative
These
kind of thing.
environments, there's lots of different things you can
I
find.
hope not.
Namely,
But there's big
red
hands.
matter to clean up, which there's a percentage that appears on the screen when you clean up red matter, and I invite everyone to try and get 100%.
Oh,
Jeez.
I know this. Everybody's probably watching me like, you missed something.
Yeah.
Clean it up. All right, let me try to concentrate so I don't get beat down.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you can get companions. That'd be pretty dope though if you get your legion and another, you know? I like how you do that. Like, you control your legion to wrap around him, so the chain gets like wrapped around him, and then you can do a bunch of different combos.
Damage numbers are doing a normal amount of damage.
Okay.
But if you attack the enemy from behind, you'll get those critical attacks, and those are indicated by the yellow damage numbers.
Good solid dodge. Looks like your legion recovers quickly, but also expands quickly, so I think you're going to be doing like a lot of bursts and then running away in a heal. Get wrecked a little bit there. Your legion's fucking the thing up. I loved it. I love it. Not loved it.
So
I
what
love
you
it.
can see
So
right now
good.
is Demetrius, as his player, is using the gun mode of the X-Baton, and the X-Baton has 3 different modes. And as far as the number of legions is concerned, you have 5 different legions. So 5 times 3, you have that many different playstyles that you can combine with weapons and legions.
At a single time? So you can like juggle between different legions. Like you could have a defense one that can protect you in a situation, or you could have a bunch of other ones, which kind of makes sense if it's the way they like you have a cartridge holder on your back to where you can like swap out a bunch of different types. So maybe that's the way it works. Interesting. Also, look like humans become infected or some shit by red matter.
To choose from, but as you progress through the game,
Yeah, you'll unlock
you
more
get
legions
access
as you
to
go
more
on. That's to
things
be
to use.
expected.
And you may have seen right now on the combat field that one of the police officers actually transformed into an enemy, and this is actually due to the influence of the Chimera, or due to the influence of the red matter that's polluting the world.
Right.
The combat seems pretty neutral, but this is like one of the first bosses, I think. So, yeah. I do hope there's a way to increase your damage, like, because it does seem like it's.
And because the
How do I
player
put it?
is
Like,
connected with, and
awesome.
this is actually going to play a bigger part in the story as it goes on.
That's right.
There we go.
Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. So I guess we'll find out probably that we're like our legions are like made from Chimera or something like that. But what I was saying was, it's like in boss battles like this where you're only seeing like 2 damage, 2 damage, 2 damage. It's like I really hope there's a way to like make me weaker, but let me do more damage so I can actually take this thing out. And if I am dodging at the right time, perfect parrying, and things like
I
that.
love that. Like,
I don't want to just be like forced to have to take like
that you get.
hack at him, you know. But no, I like the lore and everything, man. It seems great. Yeah, like Dale May Cry ranking system, so you can redo stuff.
And I'm just.
Okay, so there's collectibles everywhere.
I am at a
Love
medicine.
that.
You can see 2 people being a little bit rowdy, so I'm just going to subdue them.
Awesome.
Yeah, just because you're a member of the Neuron Special Task Force, that doesn't mean you get out of doing regular police work.
Correct.
Yeah,
Let's see
I
if
was
I can
hearing about
find
this.
some
Sometimes
medicine.
when the game is goofy. It's not just like, hey, you're an important little guy or whatever. It's like, hey, no, there's this dude just who's like a crazy otaku screaming in the streets, begging for whatever, right? And you have to like beat him, and then he'll chill out, and then you'll talk to him, get information or whatever. But needless to say, guys, I love this. The whole game to me just screams something that's up my alley. It seems fresh, seems new, seems like things that I haven't seen much of this kind of game where you're basically like, yes, you can fight and attack. Like the God of War is what I would associate it with style of fighting where it's like, yes, you're you, but you have an extension to yourself, which in God of War it's Atreus, and this it's like a fucking giant. It's like that times 10, which is awesome to me. And I really, really want to play this game, but the one thing I mentioned at the beginning, which is truly like this big sinking feeling, is that this is actually a Nintendo Switch only game. Which maybe it'll come to like PC 2 or 3 months after the fact, but that breaks my heart, man, because I want to play this game, support this game from the get-go, because it just looks amazing. It's called Astral Chain. And yeah, man, I everything about it just seems like it's just up my alley. But it also seems like it's not a game that was half-assed, because a game like this could definitely be half-assed. But everything that I've seen, this is only part 1 of a series of gameplay videos that they've done. to like show you what the game is and all these like weird different gameplay things that they have you doing. Characters that I'm sure they're going to get you to like, and etc., etc., etc. Also 5 different types of legions to help you in combat, and I imagine new weapons, new things that they can change into, new armors and ways to look, and new ways to play as well, because you can build your character, as well as maybe companions. I'm not sure if there's like, I just noticed when he was in the police station there was a person on his ass following him, so I thought maybe there's companions. But I haven't got confirmed on that. But this is a game that I'm looking at. If you guys know anything about it and you know that they're planning on bringing it to Steam or something at a certain point, that'd be great to know. It does look really good for being on Switch, like awkwardly good. Like I don't know how they did that kind of good. But who knows? I don't know. I just really hope that it does come to other systems, because I really do want to play it, and it sadly is a Nintendo Switch exclusive. Anyways, thank you guys so much for your time. Hope you guys check out the game and let me know what you guys think about it. I think it's totally up my alley, and I just can't wait. Again, I don't know what I'll do, though. If I'll buy a Switch, I probably won't. I don't know. I really hope that eventually it does come to Steam or something, because I would love to support the game. Anyways, subscribe button above me, 2 videos from right. Thank you so much for your time, and goodbye.